Thank you so much for tuning back into this week's reading. My name is Lesley Donaldson. I am reading the story, Max Lucado's novel about the Bible as one continuous story. What a journey. And today we have been reading chapter 19, The Return Home. Many displaced Jewish people being brought home, and the house of God being rebuilt, commanded to be rebuilt, but comes against all kinds of opposition still to this day. Though we are reading about something that happened so long ago, 520 BC, it is still a topic today. Still a topic today. June 3rd, 2021. That is still what the world is seeing happening right now with the issue in Israel. It's very interesting. A lot of history there. If you don't know about it, research that. That's a lot. That's something to study. Anyway, let's keep going. This is part C. If you would like to pick up where we are, you can go to our YouTube channel, ITR Polygraph. Please either hit home or playlist. You will see the playlist for Max Lucado, the story. Follow along from chapter 1 till now. It's so great. And it's such a journey, and you'll learn so much. Who is God? Who are you? What's going on in this world today? It really is quite interesting, and how history really is repeating itself in so many ways. Let's carry on though. We have just understood that there has been a decree to rebuild the temple of God. And it says here at the top of page 273, I, Darius, have decreed it. Let it be carried out with diligence. Then, because of the decree King Darius had sent, Tatanai, governor of the Trans-Euphrates, and Shethar Bozani and their associates carried it out with diligence. So the elders of the Jews continued to build and prosper under the preaching of Haggai, the prophet of Zechariah, a descendant of Iddo. They finished building the temple according to the command of God of Israel and the decrees of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes. Oh my goodness. Artaxerxes? Please let me know how you say these words. I think I've butchered some of these words, and I'm very sorry. Some of these names, so I must practice more with that. And the Kings of Persia. So let's just read that sentence over again. They finished building the temple according to the command of the God of Israel and the decrees of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes, kings of Persia. The temple was completed on the 3rd day of the month Adar, in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. So on March 12th, 516 BC, almost 70 years after its destruction, the rebuilding of the temple was complete. Sustained work had continued on the project for 3.5 years. Though not as large or spectacular as Solomon's temple, the rebuilt temple was actually enjoyed a larger life. Then the people of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the exiles celebrated the dedication of the house of God with joy. For the dedication of the house of God, they offered 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 male lambs as a sin offering for all Israel, 12 male goats, one for each of the tribes of Israel. They installed the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their groups for the service of God at Jerusalem, according to what is written in the book of Moses. many Jews chose not to return to Judea. One man, Mordecai, who was living in the city of Susa, one of the 4 capitals of the Persian Empire, and his adopted daughter, Hadassah, also known as Esther. I say that because I hope you know the story of Esther. Anyway, let's keep reading because I'll just get excited. Through a series of miraculous events, they both become involved in a web of circumstances that involved the king, a royal decree, and a heinous plot of betrayal. The story of Esther and Mordecai. We will be coming up to reading chapter 20 next week, next Thursday. Please tune in. It is Thursday today, June 3rd. And next week the chapter's called The Queen of Beauty and Courage. The story of Esther, if you haven't read it, well, we're going to read it. Oh my gosh, we'll go through it together. I actually in the spring of 2020, we studied the book of Esther. In fact, it was she was from this book here, and then we read the book of Esther, myself and 2 of my soul sisters, and it was such a great book, and I can't wait to read it now in this book and in this type of Bible study. So, but let's talk about what the questions will be for chapter 19, the return home. These are the questions that we will be reviewing first next week. Okay, it's called this, or they say this: why did God rescue the Israelites again? We've been asked that many times. This is chapter 19, and we're going to be asked it again. Why did God rescue the Israelites again? Number 2, in what ways have you seen or experienced the rescuing power of God? Number 3, what did the Israelites do to deserve the mercy they received? Number 4, what reason does God have for being merciful to you? Number 5, the Jews returned home to rebuild the temple, the dwelling place of God on earth. Why was it important for them to do this? Great question. Number 6, where does God dwell on earth today? What great questions. It will be fun to answer those and to really think about that and study that and understand that. Really, such great questions. So, thank you for that. I would also like to read a few things here. June 3rd, we will read from Jesus Always. It's the second book to Jesus Calling. So let's just see what the theme is today for these 2 readings. This says here, for June 3rd, I invite you to gaze upon my beauty and seek me more and more. This is a delightful invitation. You can get glimpses of my loveliness in the wonders of nature, but these are only tiny, weak reflections of my massive glory. The best is indeed yet to come. When you will see me face to face in heaven. For now, gazing upon my beauty requires focusing on my unseen presence through prayer and meditating on my word. Foundational to your search for me is remembering that I am continually with you. I am always attuned to you. I am training you to be increasingly aware of me. Place reminders of my presence in your home, car, and office. Whisper my name to remind you of my nearness. Sing praises to me. Read or recite scripture passages out loud. Find others who desire to know me more fully and share this glorious quest with them. Seek me and require me as a vital necessity. Search for me with all your heart. You can find that information in Psalm 27:4, 1 Corinthians 13:12, Jeremiah 29:13. When I'm reading this, and when I'm literally reading this and speaking it out loud, and it is saying to do that, and to do it and share it with other people and to speak truth, I thank you so much for participating in this Bible study and allowing me a place and you a place to be able to speak out loud who God is, share his word, and share our journey, share our stories, share our life. That is so incredible. And it's very, very fitting for today. And let's just see here. Actually here, what I'd like to do here is go to the back of the book in here. Just a sec here. And I just want to go over a few of the characters that we've been reading about and we're going to read, okay? So we're going to go back here for just a minute here to the page of 492 in your book, and let's look here. We've got Cyrus, the king of Persia, who overthrew Babylon. He permitted the exiles to return to Judea and ordered the temple to be rebuilt. Zerubbabel, a member of Judea's royal family, who led the first group of exiles back to Judea and eventually led the successful effort to rebuild the temple. Then there's Ezra. Ezra is a priest who led the second group of exiles back to Judea and renewed the people's faithfulness to God's word. Haggai, a prophet during the return from exile, Haggai motivated the people to rebuild the temple. Then we have Zechariah, a prophet during the return from the exile. Like Haggai, he motivated the people to return or to rebuild the temple. He also prophesied the restoration and prosperity of God's people. Now we're going to read about Esther, the Jewish queen of the Persian Empire during the reign of Xerxes. She exposed a plot to kill the Jews. Mordecai, Esther's cousin, Mordecai raised Esther, guided her when she became queen, and uncovered a conspiracy to assassinate the king. I won't tell you many more, and I won't go into many more of the people who are associated with that incredible story as well. But I do want to let you know that so that you can be excited and be thinking about what we will be talking about next week. But do go back if you have not become a subscriber, please do, so that if you subscribe, then it lets you know right away when we've uploaded the Bible series. It also lets you know the different comments and things like that are coming in, and you could be a part of that. So to like and subscribe and to comment would be really great. Please let me know who you are and where in the world you're taking this Bible study and how it is helpful for you. I would also like to end with reading one of the devotionals here, also from Jesus Calling, and we are reading again June 3rd. And so let me just put these reading glasses on here. And it says here, on June 3rd, I want to be central in your entire being. When your focus is firmly on me, my presence displaces fears and worries. They will encircle you, seeking entrance. So you must stay alert. Let trust and thankfulness stand guard, turning back fear before it can gain a foothold. There is no fear in my love, which shines on you continually. Sit quiet in my love light, while I bless you with my radiant presence. Turn your whole being to trusting and loving me. That's found in 2 Thessalonians 3:16 and 1 John 4:18. And I could not be more thankful for the consistency of what it says in both Jesus Always and Jesus Calling. And it is really focus on God. That is the message through Daniel. It's the message through Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Seek him, seek him, seek him. It was constantly the message. And that's the message through Jesus Calling and Jesus Always. And so I hope that it is blessed by you. What fell out was a beautiful little picture of my birth. I'd share that another time. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time because I did have it in here, but it fell out when I opened it. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your time. And I enjoyed today so much, and I loved reading today's chapter, and I so look forward to next week's chapter where we talk about Esther and Mordecai and all of that. And if you don't know that story, we're going to get to know it next week. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye now.